What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the bottom of the map in the yellow color, making up the team SOO, or being part of the team SOO. Side of Osiris, he's playing as Uranus, and his name is Gooey. His name is NTC. His partners today in the blue color playing as Zeus. His name is Sertok. And in the green color playing as Poseidon. His name is Mosca Varajiria, also known as Mosca. We're calling him Mosca because it's easier. Their opponents today currently up 1-0 in this 2-game series. Don't forget it. We'll talk more about that later. In the red color playing as Uranus, his name is Tunison, the CUD clan leader, I believe. Their partners today, or his partner today. In the teal color playing as Hades, his name is Ninho, or Ninho, or Nineho, or Ninehyo. I don't know. Anyways, he's playing as Hades, and the final member rounding out this team in... Wait. Hang on. No. Mosca is on Team CUD, and back here, Ashen is on Team SOO. Well, that's classic. That's classic Boit. He's going to make mistakes from time to time. This is why you need to have the bloody clan tag in front of your name. Where's the clan tag? What happened to it? You're confusing me. This is the whole reason. Anyways, it's a 2-game series in the group stage. You're not meant... The point of the group stage is to get as many points as you possibly can so that you can get that garnered top spot, that first seed spot. That's what you want. Second seed, third seed, less good. Fourth seed, you're out. But first seed, you get a bye in the knockout round, and the second and third seeds are going to be duking it out in the first round of the knockout stage. And this is actually an invaluable benefit because you see exactly how the tournament is going to progress, exactly what the team that you're going to play against is going to want to do. So you get a lot of scouting information for a long series and see exactly what the bonuses are going to be there. But let's talk a little bit about what could potentially happen in this game. We've got a fairly defensive composition over here for SSO, and the only reason that this is because Ashen has picked Ra here. We do have an Uranus here who's who can be really aggressive. We got a Zeus here who can be really aggressive, but with the Ra, it's gonna be a difficult one to do. Now Ra can go for Bast and do some Sphinx raiding if he so chooses, but more than likely we see 2 town centers. We see the Ra trying to hit a heroic age, huge boom, and hit some sort of timing to really knock their opponents off of their feet here, as the temple is going to be coming down for Ashen. And if we take a look at what the CUD team is constructed here, they've got Hades, they've got Uranus, and they've got Poseidon. So this is a very different team to what they had last game. No Thor in this game. Super defensive here. Hades and Poseidon. A little bit surprised to see this kind of a composition here. Maybe there's no Egyptian players on this team. Oasis definitely a better map for the Egyptians, just because it's low hunt, it's defensive, and Egyptians are going to have a lot of fun there, not having to get all of the hump that well, falling behind because of that, I guess. As Tunison now, he looks like he's going for an archaic second town center, really indicating exactly what's happening in this game. This is going to be a huge boom from Tunison. We'll see if he gets an early third town center as well, or if he's just going to stay 2 town centers and try and make it work. We see Ninho over here grabbing a Black Lotus. This is a huge relic right here. This one is going to come back and essentially allow Ninho to stay in the classical age and farm and have a fantastic time because he effectively has irrigation. So he can go for 3 town centers here. He can build army, be aggressive. He can do whatever he wants. He's going to have a fantastic time. And he's definitely going for a fast second town center here as we see Tar coming through for Ashen. He's going to be grabbing himself his own relics here. He's got the head of Orpheus giving an extra 8 building line of sight as well as a pair of gold lions. That's a huge relic to be grabbing at this stage of the game because it helps him in the early stages to push off enemy hunt, cause a little bit of chaos, defend himself. Anything is good. As you see, the military barracks, counter barracks coming down now for NTC. That's exactly what we're calling him because I can't work this out. It's too many vowels next to each other. Guiza. I give up. I'm not trying again. As you see, the Katoskopos scouting around over here. He sees it is against Poseidon. And the Poseidon player over here getting himself his second town center. And I think there'd be no surprises here, but I guess it's a little bit of a surprise. No real centaurs coming out for Surtok as Surtok, what's he doing? He's got 2 centaurs? He's got 2 centaurs, and it looks like he's going to be rushing a second town center here. He's got the 5 villagers on gold over here. We've got the walls already coming up for Ninho. He's defending his base nicely. He's just, yep, don't need to worry too much about anything here. It's raw, so early walls going to be completely fine, and we're going to be getting ourselves a very, very boomy game here indeed. Shadoof coming through already. I'm sure we're going to be seeing Plow. Husbandry is probably already grabbed. No, it's not. It's going to be getting grabbed fairly soon, I'm sure. As more villagers coming out. And Ashen, he's going to love this as we see the town center almost up. We see the Jason over here trying to bash that town center down, but does not manage to do so. As the units for Surtok have to retreat back. They get a little bit of damage done, but we do see a couple of dead units here as the Promethean offspring get pushed back as well. There's a bolt coming down onto that Hippolyta over there as the Centaur are both incredibly low HP, both on 7 HP, 7 HP, 17 HP. Going to continue looking for some raids here as we see this house coming up. The Centaur can potentially hit that over there. As the town center over here getting grabbed. Everyone going up to 2 town centers here. Tunison, he's getting himself his counter barracks and his termite, trying to build those villages. You do have to be a little bit careful about where you're sending your citizen as Uranus when you go 2 town centers, because you need around about 6 villages on food to support 2 town centers worth of production and the military barracks. As we see rain coming down, let's check how many farms are down for Ashen here. Ashen's got himself 15 farms with a very peculiarly placed farm here. Anyways, the big thing here for Ashen is that this game is very slow paced, which is going to allow him to go up to heavy amounts of farms. He only goes to 15 here. I would have liked to see something like 20 in this situation where everyone's gone 2 town centers. You get a huge boom. You start your trade route immediately in the heroic age. You make a bunch of units and you cause chaos. You don't have to use shifting sand, so you have that option in the later stages of the game. You can move your rock around to get line of sight, and it's going to be really, really strong. So we'll see how it's all going to go. We're starting to see some units streaming in for our Uranus player NTC over here. He's looking for something to take out. Now, NTC, he's going to need to get 3 town centers here. Otherwise, he's going to fall behind because Tunison's had 2 town centers for ages. And that villager differential is going to be absolutely gigantic. As we see these units attempting to take down the temple. Got the Hippolyta is back out. Does manage to take down the Jason here. As the town center is up, and Surtok is going to be continuing to spam out those centaurs. We've got a stable up. Going to start making some of those as well. As we've got the units streaming in for Tunison to push back NTC's Uranus army here. Going to be looking for some raids in the near future. As we do see a handful of units here from Ninjo. They have found Ashen's villagers over here. Going to be able to get a villager kill here. I'm sure, maybe not. The villagers are pretty fast. The Chiron going to try and get some good damage down, but not quite enough as this villager will make it back into the town center. We see the Pharaoh popping out, going to be bashing or shooting that Minotaur over here as it's going to be retreating away. We might need to see some walls coming through soon for Ashen, but he's just playing nice and defensive. We see the Monument to the Soldiers coming up as well at this stage in the game. That's going to be allowing him to get all the upgrades he wants, potentially some myth units as well, get himself a forward Migdol, all the other good stuff as he's going to be chucking that one down. Ninhyo at the moment, he's got his armory up. He might be looking for a relatively fast heroic age here and just trying to play as defensively as possible. We do see an archery range coming down. He is Hades, so I don't hate it as much as when I see Zeus or Poseidon players making archery ranges against Ra players. But in the end here, I think the best way to go for the most part at these stages of the game is to get your farms down, make pure Hippocon. Pure Hippocon is going to be able to beat the majority of what your opponent's doing. If you see Spearman coming out, then you can make some hoplites, and that's going to be fine as well. As we see these heroes trying to get a little bit of damage done over here, but it looks like the Migdol will be coming down here at this point, as we see the NTC units pushing in and be pushing Tunison back. It seems like he's not happy to take this fight when I feel like he's got a fairly strong army here. We see the Centaur coming in, immediately one shot there and run away. Nice play there from Surtok, but he does lose a Centaur. They're very, very low HP here, it would seem, as they're pulling back, and we're now starting to see some Hippocon coming in to this location here as Surtok coming forward to get a little bit more damage done. Tunison over here looking for some defensiveness, as well as we see Apollo now coming through for Ninjo. No attempt at any significant he doesn't want to go for Curse here. He's going for Apollo, so he's going to be open to some serious attacks from Ashen. If I was Ashen, I'd be you'd want to grab this third town center as fast as you can. Alternatively, going for like a 11-12 minute Shifting Sands Mythic Age here might have been possible as well, as we do see the market is up. No trade has started yet, but he's got his market up, and he is now moving over to grab this town center as we see these units pushing in, going to try and take down Mosca's base here, as we see the Murmillo over here getting taken out. So the units pushing in onto this position. Tunison doing his darnest to get some good damage done, but we will be seeing these units having to retreat back. The Centaur are out, so they're going to be able to snipe down units here. You just got to keep up the Centaur snipage. There's another kill. Nice play there by Surtok. Keep those numbers low. We see Aphrodite coming through for Moscow right now. As the villagers coming out, going to look to grab this town center. There is a ceasefire available to him, though you don't necessarily want to use it to grab this location. But he definitely can think about doing that as the units moving forward. We basically, if you're Hades here, you basically want to be getting to heavy cavalry before you start taking any real significant fights against the Ra. But Ashen in a really, really good position over there, so we'll see if he's going to be able to convert that into a significant advantage. As the restoration coming down on this position very, very early here, as the Rock does get sniped down. Nice play there by Ninjo, able to take that one out. We see the Manticore retreating back, and now Ashen has to pull back as well. And we'll see how that's all going to go as the unit's still pushing in. Big shockwave coming in. Curse getting dropped there as well, as it looks like Mosca has defended for the time being here. As the units here retreating back, we've got Tunison 2 town centers, NTC 2 town centers as well, as it looks like they're both in a relatively equal position here, it would seem, even though there's probably a couple more villagers out for Tunison, but that's just because this town center is coming down, so that's why the score is so close. And even then, Tunison in a significant advantage here, as SOO retreating back, and CUD says thank you very much, no problems anymore. Town center on the way now. Moscow, I keep saying Moscow. Mosca is playing it very risky here. He hasn't really produced that many units here in this game. This gold mine incredibly exposed over here. The wall's trying to come up over here for Mosca to defend, but if NTC or Surtok realize this, they could come over there and get a whole bunch of villager kills, as Tunison is just trying to defend this as best as he can. But the town center looks like it is just about to get up. Can the units here come through and stop this? We see the Hippocon coming in. They do get a couple of hits. No, they don't. Town center up. Pigs are in. We see archery ranges coming down, as Mosca is going to be incredibly happy about that one, as now we see Ashen has to retreat back. He hasn't managed to secure this town center. He hasn't managed to do much. That's a lot of walls right there, my friend Ashen. That is a lot of walls. So you see Siege Works coming up over here. This citizen can drop a sky passage over here and move from one location over here to the other location incredibly fast. Now, unfortunately for Arano's players, their teammates cannot use that location cannot use that sky patch just to all jump over. That would be too broken, but he's going to be able to drop that at some point, and he's actually going for it right away to help potentially push Ninho over here as well with his partner Ashen. So ceasefire down, military barracks coming in, fortress wants to be thrown down as well, irrigation coming through, shaft mine, Boso, all the good upgrades coming in, Apollo, Thea coming in as well, Surtok and Tunison respectively here. As this big fat oasis is keeping these pocket players incredibly safe and defensive, as we see a Thea coming through as well for NTC, as his third town center is on the way here. And we'll see how this is all going to go. When is NTC going to use this sky passage? Now, during ceasefire, you can't actually build a sky passage. It's a little known fact. It's like a tower or a fortress. You can't build towers or fortresses during ceasefire. So this one's not going to start until after the ceasefire. I think because the sky passage technically can shoot arrows, that's why they made that the case. But then again, I don't fully know any reasons. As we see a whole metric shit ton of Centaur have been constructed here by Surtok. He's got to be really careful with these though, because the Atlanta is out and she is fast. You can't even split these up and keep them in the fight. So that's a lot of population not in this fight. Gets one shot down. The units can't even chase them as NTC has to retreat back. We see the Centaur coming back in. The Pegasus is out over here as a Palace wants to get thrown down. We've got Hephaestus coming through for Ninho already as Horus is on the way for Ashen. Ashen is playing this incredibly risky right now. Horus is a risky god to be going against a potential Hephaestus Hades, because it means you don't have access to mummies, which means that the Colossus are going to be a terrifying unit to deal with here. Ashen making a very, very big statement. We'll see if his Tornado is going to be able to make it work. We do have an Oracle back here setting up for some sort of a shifting sands, but we do see that Dunison has noticed that, going to start shanking that down. The rock was taken down, so where are you going to cast Tornado is the big question. As Mosca and Tunison are pushing through on this position very, very nicely, as the Palace going to be taking out the Stymphalian bird over here. We see the Centaur coming in here, going to try and help out, as now that Atlanta is looking very, very weak. Super low HP. We're seeing a couple of shots coming in as the Manticore going to continue to stay alive. The Centaur Micro being decent over here for Surtok, as NTC and Surtok are defending nicely. The Palace going to be helping out quite a bit. The Town Center over here not really shooting many shots, but is when the units are getting close, getting that good help in there. As we're now starting to see the units moving forward over here, we've got ourselves already heavy spearmen in this Biznarch for Ashen, as he's going to drop his Tornado directly onto these units to take down all of those Toxotes. The army retreating away. The stable's getting taken down. I do not think that fortified town center is going to fall at all here, as we see an immediate greatest of the 50 getting researched by Ashen, as his town center stays alive with a lot of HP. There's no siege in here for Ashen, so I'm not sure his timing here is going to be that much of a help as the unit's pushing back. And have you ever seen this many archers in your life? Archers are a stopping force. They prevent your opponent from pushing, but they also prevent you from pushing. So whenever you see your opponent making mass archers, pull back, find a different place to attack. That's the big thing. Drop towers, find a different place to attack, because all of that population here is effectively useless at dealing with buildings. So you build buildings, you attack somewhere else. That's the name of the game when you see archers. As the units coming through, it looks like Ninjo has defended completely fine here, as we're now starting to see the catapults coming out. We've got ourselves Champion Spearmen out already with all of those upgrades. Ashen has got some good upgrades here. Now, at this stage, the Colossus can get taken down fairly easily by a Pharaoh or by Spearmen, because they deal hack damage against this. And in that moment, we do see a ceasefire over here as Surtok, he's over... What's going to happen here? Both of these players have used Underworld? Huh? Surtok's Underworld. He drops the Fortress. He casts Ceasefire. And he needs to drop military buildings here. As he's over here, he's going to drop some walls, get set up. I feel like he's not doing this right. What you want is one villager on each of these buildings and drop like 10. If you bought 10 villages, drop 10 buildings straight away, and that they're all going to get up because it takes about 23 seconds to build a building. So you can actually get 20 buildings thrown up in the course of, if you got 2,000 wood, in the course of a minute. As you see, interesting walls. And there's nothing wrong with this, as long as you're not building wall segments like just straight up. It's completely fine, but we'll see if this is going to work. As we've already got, Tunison already over here. Surtok in. If I was NTC, I'd be trying to sneak a sky passage in here somewhere. As the unit's coming back to defend this position. Meanwhile, the catapult trying to take down the town center. The units are all fully upgraded here as this Colossus is moving in. The Pharaoh needs to get to work though. That's doing what it needs to do. Helios now coming through for Tunis and going to be able to get those vortexes in and all the other good stuff. As the Arcus, they're taking everything down, but they're not able to kill the underworld passage that easily here. As now we see the destroyers coming in. They're actually going to be able to take out the underworld passage here from Ninja. That's actually huge. Is there a sky passage anywhere close here? It looks like there's this is the closest sky passage, so I have to walk all the way over there to get back over and help this. So all of these units on this position are going to be effectively useless here, as the Polyphemus does end up able to come through onto this one. Going to start taking the underworld passage down, as the Petropolis going to continue to push in here and take these fortresses down. We see the Heliopolis coming in to help out as best as they can. Look at the upgrades coming through for Ninho though. He's getting full iron already in this game. And if we take a good look at what Ashen's got, he's also already at full iron. So he's managed to get the economic upgrades that he needs incredibly fast here in this game. So we'll see how he's going to go as the fortified town center shooting away as best as it possibly can here. We see the walls coming up as these villagers have snuck through here by Surtok. This has not been spotted just yet, it seems, as one military academy is going to be a little bit annoying. The catapults attempting to push in, take down this fortress, this wall over here. Not really helping because it's Moscow's wall, but it's doing what it needs to do. Prevents the catapult from getting too close in here. Moscow's pushing through, going to start taking down these buildings. Going in with Toxotes, Heliopoli. Not a bad composition. Honestly, at this point, you can probably actually stop building the Toxotes and just go into infantry Heliopoli. Wouldn't be a bad idea to make some real big pushes come in. But now we've got the Bellerophon helping out on this position over here. We've got the units still trying to break through here. Now, this is smart from Ashen. You do want to start your towers. Starting your towers nice and far away from the town center is the name of the game. As the iron upgrades have all come in for both players, so there's no more advantages in terms of tech here for Ashen. He does have champion versus the heavy infantry, but he is currently kind of trading nicely. Do we see upgrades for these Axemen? No upgrade just yet. What's it called? I always forget. Axe of Vengeance, isn't it? Axe of Vengeance hasn't come through for the Axemen, the upgrade which gives bonus damage to buildings for Axemen. That'll help out a lot in pushing through your opponent's base. But the catapult here is still going hard on this town center as Ninjo is trying his darnest to defend. He needs to throw up some sort of towers here. He is making these Gastrophetes, which are a really good counter to catapult. Well, not really a good counter to catapult, but a really good counter to guard towers. But they can shoot from afar and take down the catapult eventually, as the town center is going to be able to survive for quite some time. This ball of units still fighting over here, as we see a vortex having to get cast here, as Moscow somehow managed to sneak through here. The villagers moving over onto this position. Do they have? Yes, they do. They've got Divine Blood, giving them extra speed over here. 4.56 speed compared to the 3.8 speed of a regular villager. Those villagers will get taken down, but this is a big distraction here, and this is useless. 19 Arcus over here are going to do nothing to help this. All the damage right now is those 3 champion destroyers. 3 champion destroyers. That's it. And now Moscow is and Tunison. They've got. It's just archers. It's just an archer fest here, ladies and gentlemen. I'll say it once. I've said it once. I'll say it again. Archers are counted by buildings. Build towers, and the archers can no longer push, and then you can leave that location comfortably. Then once you leave that location, your opponent essentially has to delete their archers and build siege weapons to make any sort of forward movement work here. But We're seeing Mosca slow pushing buildings here. It's exactly what he needs to do in this position, but it's not happening just yet. As now we're seeing this town center slowly falling here, as it looks like Ninjo is having some very, very difficult. It's just a very difficult position to be in. He needs to get full population and defend this somehow. The towers are going to continue to come in. The catapult here does so much damage. It's a lot of villages repairing, but we do have the plenty vault up. That's going to be a good help here as more towers coming in. The Heliopoli moving forward. This one is going to be very, very difficult. We're starting to see these buildings getting taken out as the militia pop out, and now they're still going to be a stable here. There's a world where you can get double upgraded, what's it called? Levy and conscript cavalry, and then make 5 to 10 of those Tyroi out of that stable pretty quickly. How fast do they build? They build pretty fast, right? All right, they take 17 seconds. Never mind. As this town center is getting closer and closer to falling, I think that Ninjo is going to need a little bit of help as Ashen is starting to get just that little bit too scary in this game. 3 catapult out, and that town center goes down. Ashen is making it work here. Now, Hephaestus can defend off of 2 town centers against a 3 town center Ra. He just needs to get up to Gold Colossus. But he's currently going in with those Gastrophetes to try and take the Ballista down, which they do take down Ballista fast, but I think the buildings are going to go down really quick. But while this is going on, Surtok has been pushed. The Heliopoli push here from Mosca has been enough here to push in. We see Vortex coming in onto this position, but how many Arcus? We need to talk about Vortex a couple more times until it's... God, there's so many Arcus in onto this position. The Fire Siphon is going to be coming in. There's going to be a lot of damage coming in onto this position. Those Arcus here do have bonus damage versus buildings. So this town center is going down relatively quickly, but Masons is in. No other upgrades are coming through. The villagers haven't really reacted to this one all too well. As a catapult pops out, the Fire Siphon going to be getting taken down relatively quickly here, but it looks like the town center of Ashen will be getting taken down, and that's going to be a little bit of a relief here for Ninjo to defend this position a little bit easier. The Heliopoli coming through, the catapult getting taken down. The town center going to be able to go back up as well. Meanwhile, on this position, the Heliopoli pushing through, but remember, Poseidon does have militia, so they can hold on these positions very, very nicely. As we see another fortress coming up here as the Heliopoli will get taken down. The villagers trying to push through here. The towers are all up here as well, and this is a tough one for a Zeus player to push through because he's got to deal with all of these units. Meanwhile, we see a Vortex coming in here from Tunison as well. He's going to attempt to continue putting the pressure on. A Shockwave coming in. That's not going to help out in the slide as the town center comes back up. Immediately, Mercenary Cavalry coming in onto this position. While this is going on, the Vortex chase coming through now by NTC. He didn't need to do that. He's got the Sky Passage. Just use the Sky Passage as we see Locust getting thrown down into this position, going to be preventing the town center from coming back up for even longer here. But NTC is in here. The Fire Siphons get dealt with. The town center stays alive, and now NTC is over here. But that's going to allow Mosca to push through here even harder because all of that defensive power that NTC had is down the drain here, as Mosca is going to be able to free push through Surtok, as Surtok is having a very, very difficult time playing as Zeus in this game. As it looks like the fortress does fall. Towers are here. The village is going to be able to push in and get this town center fairly soon here as well, and that's going to be absolutely huge because there's no real defensive help as we see the units pushing through here for NTC. This is going to be a bit of a base trade though, as do we have the Axe yet? Yes, we do. Axe of Vengeance is in, so these buildings are going to go down very, very fast as we see the Vortex coming back in onto this position to help out as the town center is coming up very, very fast. Obviously, stopping this from going up is vitally important, but getting this town center up is also vitally important. Ashen, no Pharaoh in here just yet. Where's the Pharaoh? I saw him over here. Must have been killed or something. No priest either to help this town center to go up fast at all. But we've got the gas Jaffitis here to help defend this one ever so slightly. Towers coming up for Ninjo over here as more stuff is coming in. What's happening over here? We see a huge a raid coming onto this town center, taking down Ashen's back town center. He's trying to defend this with his villagers, but there's nothing over here to do that. While this is happening, the Tunisian army is going after this trade route absolutely beautifully. Meanwhile, we've got a Ninjo Titan Gate coming up. He's managed to get Siege of the Titans, as well as Moscow is going through Siege of the Titans, as well as this town center here is still not up just yet for Moscow, but he's getting slowly but surely creeping forward to grab this town center for himself. Meanwhile, this town center has been kind of accepted that he can't get it just yet. Going to slow push this one with the buildings through here. As Siege of the Titans is coming through now for Ashen as he's trying to get his town center back. Over here, some mercenary coming in to defend this location. The Pharaoh in here wants to empower up this town center as fast as he possibly can. There he goes. The champion fanatic could come over here and cause some more issues, but it looks like the town center will be up here as the Titan Gate coming down now for Moscow. I imagine that Surtok is in a lot of pain right now in terms of his economy, and he's not going to be able to get his own Titan Gate out to compete. So NTC kind of needs to somehow get his own Titan out here as the town center is slowly coming up. The fire cipher needs to be dealt with first before it does come down. We've got 16 villages on this town center. We've got 23 villages on that town center, so a lot of villages currently idle at this point. Meanwhile, I mean, this stable is now going to start building some Hippocon. There's no upgrades really on the Hippocon, but they're going to be doing a little bit of pain here. We've got triple temple somehow getting thrown up here by Moscow as well, as all these players are trying to get in onto the back of these teams. We see a temple coming up over here for Moscow, going to try and help defend against Ashen's push here. Meanwhile, Tunison is over here as Moscow is attempting to push through here solo just with these villages. You don't need to get the town center up just yet, just more towers. Look at all the towers he's thrown down over here. More coming up on this position as the Polyphemus getting pulled back over here as the destroyers going down. We see these Heliopoli. They're going to be good at taking out Fire Siphon equally good at taking down Heliopoli, so you do have to focus fire just a little bit here as the Titan Gate's getting very close to getting completed here. 58% for Ninjo to Moscow's 60%. Both players are very close. We haven't seen the Titan Gate actually thrown down. Wait, did he throw it down already? Wait, how do I see? I don't think did he get killed? Did I miss that? Wait, huh? I don't know. Where the town center goes down, but now we see a red Titan coming out as well as Shifting Sands getting cast of desperation. Shifting Sands, there's barely enough catapult here. The villagers getting pulled. A couple of chariot archers are in. He's going to have to kill every single one of these villagers if he wants to take down this Titan Gate. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to. That Shifting Sands was held for the entirety of the game for this play in a big way, but it looks like the catapult's just not going to be enough. The town center over here has been taken down. Ashen not able to deal with the kind of huge amount of units coming in onto his base here as the villagers retreat back. Ninjo has got his town center back. The Titan is up for Moscow over here as we see the Titan Gate getting thrown down by Ashen. We'll see if he's going to be able to get it up in time to help defend. Meanwhile, this position is still getting slow pushed over here. The towers are up. This town center is basically gone. All Surtok can do is try and hold here as he's doing his best effort there. Halo of the Sun coming through though and Petrified coming through for MTC to help out his siege weapons at this point here as the teal units pushing through. Going to grab this town center very, very fast here as everything coming in as best as it possibly can. More buildings coming down on this position. The temple's up here. Not building any Colossus out of here, just being a little bit of a pain as the Titan, I mean, it's just sitting idle for a little bit, but I'm sure Moscow is going to move that one fairly shortly as more Titans are going to be coming through here as well. Ninjo needs to deal with these chariot archers that are killing off his trade route at this point, but not needing to do so just yet. The fortress is coming down here as well as the Heliopoli pushing in. These buildings are going to fall very fast, and Ashen has fallen from that top score and is really, really struggling right now to keep up. He's dropped down to 2 town centers, has no population left. We see this stray Perseus coming in here to try and stop the Titan Gate. He's a hero, but he's not that good. As in that moment, Surtok decides to tap out, Ashen taps out, NTC taps out, and Team CUD takes this one, takes this 2-game series in a decisive fashion, 2-0. Every single 2-0 win in this group stage is vitally important to get that top spot. That's what everyone is vying for, essentially in this group stage. So huge win here for CUD. Great play here by SOO. They almost managed to take this one. It was looking very, very scary for Ninho in the kind of mid stages of the game here with that Ra push. But Ninho was able to defend here, and that's the game. Incredibly well played by both teams. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. It means a lot. And if you guys are on the YouTubes, hit the subscribe button as well as potentially the leaving a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next game.